you, people? Welcome to the last class of the year. Hi, Internet. How are you? Welcome back. I hope everyone is comfortable, enjoying December, enjoying the winter, the lack of sun, right? The darkness. It got very deep. So we are going to have the last class of the year. As you noticed since last class, we have some issues with the furniture. So we need to recover our podium that we don't know what it is. We are working on that one. Don't worry. If we don't recover our podium, we are going to be building one. From scratch, right? So yeah, I will miss being here. Oh, we have the trolls invading the university. So we are going to have today Advanced Web Attacks, December 18, 2025. The one where we eat all the cookies, Christmas cookies, if we can. And we are going to be having, after this class, the Christmas break. So Internet, wherever you are, there's going to be a Christmas break until the first class in January, okay? I'm saying this because for us coming from Latin America, the semesters are split differently. Usually, for us, when the year ends, it ends. Like, that's it. Like, it's the end. You don't continue in January. So in January, we still have one class, people. So you have the links, and you have everything there for you. And a survey results from last class. Let me make this bigger now that I'm out. It was very nice. Lukashi, I think he's coming, but if you're listening, I will have good video and everything, right? Yes. Congratulations, the pace was just right. I could follow comfortably 100% of the people, so we are super happy with that one. Thank you very much, Lukashi. The parish notices, we have things to tell you, people, okay? So a lot of things. First is, if you are online, please, mock students, click start on class 13 on the SCL. It's gonna take some minutes, maybe 5. Maybe more, depending on your internet connection, because you have many things to install, okay? So you can click start and give some minutes to be ready. For CTU students, we have good news. We have, as we told you last time, the exams dates. I'm not sure if you register or not. The assessment, the approval of the class in Zapochet in Czech, will be given in course before the last class, January the 8th, okay? And then you have to or approve the bonus or approve the exam in order to approve everything, okay? So that is for the CTU people. Then we also have the voting of the last class. All the owls arrived with postcards, and actually if you go to the website, you will have the postcard voting, topics, the instructions, and at the bottom, the receipt votes. Look at that. Maybe yours is there. Thank you very much, people. Thank you very much, students and Internet. We have postcards that arrive very nicely. The other side, we don't push due to privacy reasons. So, yeah. Very, very nice receiving them.
I'm happy to say that I think the farthest we got a postcard from is Malaysia. So that was super cool.
It's Malaysia. Thank you very much. From Malaysia, wow, beautiful. Yes, look at these ones. Very nice. Some were handmade, amazing. I think we only have one to put in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that arrived today. So we count all the votes. And the class that won for January is going to be Autonomous Attacking Agents.
Yes, on the website, this topic is, yeah.
Is okay?
Wait, is it Autonomous Attacking Agents?
No, it was LLMs, right?
Breaking LLMs and AI security, right?
It was LLMs.
Okay, we will confirm.
Okay, we will confirm. Yeah, we will confirm it was LLMs, but maybe there is a recounting. I don't know. Well, agents, LLM, actually very close. So apart from that, there is going to be a dual class. Also, that class, we are going to be doing the NOC talk, the NOC talk, the Network Operations Center talk, is where we actually tell you everything about what was it to run this class for the whole semester behind the scenes. We are going to tell you about all the infrastructure, assignments, network things that happen, which is a very difficult technical talk. That's going to be the same class, okay? Then, bonus assignment. Bonus assignment starts on December 19th. That is tomorrow, Friday, at 9 p.m. And the deadline is January the 7th, 11 p.m., 59 minutes, 59 seconds, okay? And maybe we should say this is the time zone, our time zone, but everyone is here in Prague, so that's going to be the deadline. We are going to be telling you more about the bonus at the end of the class, including unlock reports and everything, okay? The social engineering points, remember the class that you run away and search pictures with people, the points will be added after the Pioneer Prize winners for the last assignment have been determined. So this class, we have an assignment. Those are going to be, is the last one, and then we are going to give points. After that, we are adding the Pioneer, the social engineering points, okay? And then the CTU prizes for the best and fastest pioneer. So we have kind of a secret prize or a secret award at the end. That is these two. That is the special prize for the first student to solve all assignments. So this is going to be an extra prize. Of the students who have completed all the assignments so far, so from 1 to 9, the first one to solve this week's assignment is the first to complete all the assignments. And the students is the faster solver. And it's going to be an award, a special award for this one, apart from the traditional Pioneer Award, okay? And then there's going to be the prize for the most consistent Pioneer Prize winners. So we are going to be looking at all the Pioneer Awards, first place, second place, and third place. We are going to give points, and then we are going to zoom, and we are going to see who is the more consistent pioneerer, okay? So it's going to be these two special awards that we're going to be doing in January. Also, please, everybody, while you are doing this, CTU and online mock students, install Burp, the community edition, if you don't have it already, because we are going to be using in this class. Install in your own computer, okay? I will give you some seconds while I'll talk to do this. So this class is going to be about advanced web attacks. We are going to be a little bit further than you went last class with Lukáš. And the main reason for this is because it's extremely important part of any penetration test, the web part. And the web part, we can have the whole semester only doing web attacks. There are so many things to do in there. So it's extremely important for you to understand and play with the real tools here in the class. So last class, you did some attacks. That was nice. That was good. Now we are going to go a step forward, okay? So the whole class is going to be about these attacks. We are going to go maybe to what is middle complexity of attacks, okay? We are going to start how to analyze the security of a web page, session cookies analysis, open redirects, server-side request forgery, XML injection, and insecure direct object references, with the XML being actually optional. So the goal of the class is to teach the difference between exploiting a vulnerability in a web page and exploring a web page to find security problems. The difference is if you know that the web page is vulnerable, you can go and try to exploit. Compare with, you have a web page, you have no idea what's going on, how do you search, how do you start, where do you look for if you have these vulnerabilities, okay? And transmit this idea of how to actually analyze the problems. So, before we start with the class, questions so far? Pioneer prizes, bonus? Nothing? Everybody fine?
Is it breaking LLMs?
Breaking LLMs was the winner class. Thank you very much. We are going to be updating soon. So that's going to be January the 8th. Yeah. No questions? Everyone ready? Yes, yes. OK. So, how to analyze the security of a web page? As you saw the previous class, it's extremely challenging to find vulnerabilities in certain parts of the web. It's not only because of the complexity of the exploit, because there are so many things, so many files, so many libraries, so many points of contact. The attack surface is huge, right? You have like APIs, and you have requests and posts, and you have users and logins and cookies. It's like extremely huge. Any web page, plus whatever is running the backend, like databases and extras. So there is a lot of complexity here, and it's such a complexity that you can use automated tools. We will use automated tools. But anyway, you still need the human behind the scenes trying to understand and go forward, right? So I remember when I first started doing pen testing, you go to a web page and you search and you try and you exploit and you come and you search and you try again. And then I remember somebody was extremely experienced, came and they look at the web page and they say, yeah, there, try this one. And I tried that one and exploit completely. And I was like, dude, I'm like for 4 hours searching stuff here, right? So that is experience. And that's why a lot of people say that this is an art, right? Not only pen testing, but web analysis and web attacking, it's extremely artistic. Like, you have to imagine the situations. Most of the things are hidden for you. So you have to guess what's going on. And you have to try different things, understand the libraries. So it's not kind of a completely, I would say, deterministic thing. So as with any other art or craft, you will benefit if you know your tools, if you know how to use them, what they do, don't do, which one is better. That's very nice. Practice to gain experience. I will suggest, if you liked it, go not only to CTFs, not only to this type of situations that are simulated, but try to find a web page that you know somebody, maybe a friend or a company, maybe your own web page, and then try to see if you can find something there. Let's try to see if you go to a real page with authorization and you can find something there. Just be careful that the majority of the web pages are kind of fragile, so the moment you start poking around and moving things, actually it can break down, right? So be careful in here. I can tell you a lot of different experiences here, but even when you expect the web page to work in a way, it may not work that way, okay? So you have to be careful, especially when you are changing things. Like you find a vulnerability and you can change comments or you can insert products or whatever, right? Of course, spending time and thinking about the problem is very, very fruitful. Like, don't just go there and do, I tried this, it's not working, that's it. Like, embrace the hacker mentality. Think the problem. Keep the problem in your head. Go do something back and then see if you can find something. Try from another angle. Analyze everything again. Then you go, maybe you walk a little bit, then you go back, right? Like, there is no rushing in here. And this applies for the bonus too, okay? And of course, you gain general experience from the attacks by extracting patterns, because you know where things can go wrong, okay? So if you master the analysis of web pages, I would say you are halfway mastering, in general, web pen testing, okay? That's what we are gonna try to finish today. Question from last class. Was it okay for you? Was it clear? Was it hard? Somebody was playing more in other web pages? Anyone getting further? No? Internet? Nobody say, oh, that is nice. Let me try the web page of, I don't know, a friend. No? I encourage you this type of curiosity. Like, don't stay with exactly what you see here. What we see here is exactly what we can put in 3 hours. This is not enough to understand and work in the problem. And at least for me, like doing this because you like it, you enjoy it, is gonna teach you so much. If you like the topic, I encourage you. So, we have a small set of resources that you can check if you want to learn more. In particular, we are going to be using Burp, and the company behind Burp, they are actually very, very good at web pen testing, and they publish a lot of beautiful blogs explaining technically how to do things. So you can go and check it there. I would say it's one of the most updated resources on modern web attacks, and they created actually a couple of them. And myself and a lot of the people in the team, we like the book, The Art of Intrusion by Kevin Mitnick, which is also telling a lot of things regarding the process behind what you can think and move forward in order to attack a web page, okay? So, let's start with a use web shop like the one you used last class. You should have it ready in your Dockers, remember, but we are gonna just be sure that everyone can connect, okay? Exactly the same as last class. So, in order to connect from your local computer and you see the web page, remember you need to do the port redirection. Anyone issues understanding the port redirection? No questions, internet? So, if you're okay, just pick any of these ones, and you need to go and make this happen in your computer. If it works for me. Maybe not.
Can you increase the font?
Yes. But since, okay, give me a second. There you go. I wanted to do this one, but maybe I have it wrong. Interesting. Works for you? Yeah, this is working. Let me see it again. And I will do 3000, choose shop 1, 3000. Oh, okay. That was weird. I'm using my own one, but it should work for you. Everyone? You have it? Yes? Perfect. And if you are online, please do the same, but with the SEL. I'm also going to be doing with the SEL. And if you run this and you do then byte them 1, 2, 3, I would have 2. Well, in this case, it was a little bit idiot because I used the same port. So I will use 3000 for my CTU, and in my case, I want to use 3001 for my SEL, okay? So if I go to my local host 3000, I should have 1, and if I use 3001, I should have the other, just in case I need them. You don't have to do this, okay? Everybody? Perfect. Now, instead of completely going to the web page like last class and understanding the web page by interacting and then seeing special things, we are going to be using a web proxy. So, anyone wants to tell us what is a web proxy? And in the meantime, I will take this off because I'm very hot. Web proxy? Wait.
I don't know what's the rightest definition of the web proxy, but I would define it as something between the client and server that can, for example, manipulate somehow the requests or anything like that. It's like, I would call it a middleman to be, if I would have to use one word.
It's a good definition, like a middleman. Yes, that's good. A little bit more technical. Anyone? A little bit more than, oh no, maybe you should sit there. More technical? Anyone? We already talked about this, web proxy. Proxies in general, you didn't have assignment with proxies. Come on, you can do this. What is a web proxy? Or a normal proxy? Or a proxy? There you go.
I got you. Wait.
Well, basically another server to which we send the request, but instead of like processing it, it sends the request over to some other server, which then processes it and returns the response back to the proxy server, which then returns the response to us. And it can be used even for things like compression or other things which might not be related directly to security or something,
Yeah.
or load balancing or something.
So it's a good answer, and it's like something in the middle that receives a request. The critical thing for you to understand is that in any proxy, the connection that you are doing, it's stopping in the proxy. You do not connect, like in a VPN or in a tunnel or in whatever else, you do never connect directly to the destination. You always connect to the proxy, and your connections ends in the proxy, and the proxy opens your connection. And if you're encrypting with HTTPS, you are always encrypting against the proxy most of the times. And even the proxy can open your connection, see what's inside. If you are in a company and you have the certificate of the proxy, even encrypted connections they can open, see what's inside, and then the proxy creates a new connection to the destination, transfers whatever you send, and then receives the question back. So the critical part is that the connection is completely broken. It's literally a man in the middle in that sense. So very different from VPNs or tunnels and other things, okay? Clear? Wait, no, I can do this. Ah, there you go. Okay, so our setup is going to be something like that, okay? We are going to have the internet here, and then we're going to have our local computer. This is your browser, right now the browser, and we are going to have you in the middle, and your browser is going to be using some type of proxy. It doesn't matter which one. I'm here putting Foxy proxy, can be Burp, any type of proxy. These are two proxies, okay? And now, these proxies will choose. Are you going to your localhost 3000? Then they're going to be redirected into, in this case, SSH, because remember you do the tunnel, and then they're going to go to Juice Shop in your Docker. And if you go onto the internet, it's going to go directly to the internet. Is it clear? It's a little bit complicated, but directly to the internet through the proxy decides, and if not, you are going to go to your local port, which the SSH is going to transfer to your remote Docker, that is going to send it to the Juice Shop in the CTU or SCL Dockers, okay? So, different components. In this case, Foxy Proxy, if you're using Firefox, is a tool to manage proxies and allows you to do these proxies one by one. We are going to be using mostly Burp Suite, which is, I would say, the de facto standard for web pen testing and analysis. Like any pen tester right now working in companies, they are usually using or Burp or SAP or any of these proxy tools. And then you have your browser, and then you have the Juice Shop, okay? All the PCs. Yes, and the proxy, the browser will send the traffic to the proxy and the rest. Questions? No? Internet questions? What is the troll doing in the dungeons? They are coming. So, let's talk a little bit of the first tool we are going to be using, the Burp tool. So Burp, if you start it, Burp tool, you should see something like that. This is a community edition, the one for free. And Burp tool, this is a commercial tool that luckily we can use for free in the community version. And it's going to be taking all these connections we are doing and playing the role of the proxy. So you need to start with a temporary project in memory, and then use Burp defaults. We are going to be the simplest one, and then you start Burp. Be sure that everything starts and you see something like that. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if I can change the fonts. I used to be able to do this. I will, I think, yeah, let me try these ones, but I'm not sure if it's gonna work. 14, 16. Yeah, I would say that this is only the message. Oh, here, the display. So let me see this one, 16, 18. Oh, there you go. More, a little bit more. 20. Better? Yes? Okay, there you go. So we have Burp there. So you start Burp, create the project, and let's see the parts. So there is a dashboard when you start. This is the dashboard. You can see here, dashboard. And you have here like a summary of everything happening, right? So the items that you are adding to the sitemap, and here we have nothing. This is a summary. If you have the live passing crawl, because also you can sniff in the network, like you can use your browser like a normal browser, and then Burp is gonna take stuff in the middle, the configuration of the tasks, and things like that. Then you have the target. So this one is where you're gonna see exactly the web page you're attacking. You're going to be choosing one web page, and here is going to be everything related to that web page, right? The requests, the scopes, and everything. Then we have the proxy. This is where we are going to be setting up the proxy configuration, because you can have many proxies, many filters in the middle, many ways of working with the history of the proxy and things like that. Then we have the intruder. The intruder is an automation that once you have something you want to do, imagine you have like a password field. Instead of putting passwords one by one, you can tell intruder, here put passwords from this dictionary, or follow this pattern, A, B, C, and then letter, three numbers. So you click play, and intruder is just repeating whatever you want, and can do this for cookies, for parameters, for everything. It's a paid feature, and in the community version, you only have like a very slow sending. I'm not sure if it's the same, but it was something like 3 requests per minute, like very slow. It's for trials, right? So we are not going to be using intruder here. Then you have the repeater. This is a function we are going to be using the most, where you have a request that you did, and then you want to play with it. You want to repeat it, but changing things. This is where most of our analysis is going to happen today. Then we have the collaborator. Collaborator is a way of having out-of-band websites that kind of confirm that whatever you are doing works, like a cross-site scripting, a server-side request forging, very similar to the sites that Lucas was showing you, that you can take like a URL token canary, and then the website is telling you if you access it or not. Remember this one from last class? No? Yes? Maybe? You know what I'm talking about? OK, we will see it today again. But it's a website that is giving you a URL, and then you copy this one, and whoever connects to that URL, the web page is showing you who is connecting and when, so you kind of can keep tracking of that one. So then we have the sequencer or sequencer. This is a tool in Burp that's actually analyzing the randomness and the statistical properties of session ID cookies. So the sequencer is able to tell you this cookie is random, it's not random, analyzing the language, the frequencies, entropies, and more like that. Then we have the decoder. This is a very basic decoder, but can actually take things like base64 or like hexal or binary or gzips and try to find what this is in your request. Very, very, very handy. Then we have the comparer. I love this part because comparer is able to show 2 requests, and then very fast you can see what's the difference. Sometimes you change one parameter, one name, and you need to see in the whole web page, which can be kilobytes, what exactly changed. So the comparer is able to pinpoint these differences between 2 selections. Then we have the logger, where everything is being logged. Then we have the organizer. Here is more for you, so you can annotate, put notes, your comments. This is very handy because you should do the reports after this. Remember the reports of the bonus. And if you are doing pen testing, you need to do the report. That's why you have tools like this to keep organize your work. And then you have many, many extensions. I think this is where the power of Burp really is. The community can do extremely beautiful amount of things. And a lot of companies, they have their own set of extensions. So if you have a specific protocol with a specific brute forcing thing, you can implement an extension, and then appears there, and you can use it, OK? Especially if you like Java. So that being said, let's start configuring Burp to be our proxy, OK? So let's go to the proxy tab. Let's not intercept right now. The interception is a tool that when somebody's using Burp, instead of sending it, is freezing everything. You are able to modify in real time, and then you can send the modified one. This is beautiful because you can be asking to log in as Pepito, and in real time, I can change that to Pepote, and then I send it, right? But we are not going to be intercepting right now in real life. So click that to off. Then let's go to the proxy settings here on top. And in proxy settings, be sure that you click in the only proxy you have right now, that is in localhost 8080. Click Edit. Bind it to port 8081. This is because SCL is already using the port 8080, so you will have issues and errors if you try to start in 8080 something else that whatever is already using it, okay? So that would be 8080. After the 8080, you will see that, you bind it, and you click OK, okay? After that, you need to click in the running to make it run. So you click that, and now the proxy is actually open. Okay, everybody? Running, click. Something else we are going to be doing is we are going to request in Burp to actually log in every request and response into a file. Remember that you are penetration testers, right? Like you are professional people testing. And there are many reasons why to have logs. Okay, which are the reasons to have logs? Who can tell us?
So you can know what you did if you've been successful, or you can go through all your so you can go through all your commands you did. And also it's good for the application itself, for the developers, if it breaks or you do something, so they will ask you to send them the logs. Anyway.
That's very good. You will have logs to send if they say what happened. Something more? Why do you want logs? 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 Oh, thank you very much.
It most likely was said already, but in the case, for example, of network traffic recording, it's basically a recording of the order of things which happened, or even of like rare sequence of things which might be hard to like repeat or something. And
agree, exactly. Especially the repetition, right?
Record.
So the moment you send something, it's extremely bad if you need to repeat this because you don't remember. Try to avoid this. Remember when we said the first class, right? You need to be undetectable. You need to be stealth. That means sending as few requests as possible. If you send it once, that's it. You have the log. Go check it again. You don't have to send it again, okay? Also remember the report. You're going to be doing a report later, and you're going to have thousands of requests. These files load usually are hundreds of megabytes in less than 1 hour because you are sending every file, every image, every PDF, everything is being logged there. And then you need to say, oh, I was trying 20,000 combinations. I saw one working, but maybe another one works. So you can go back in time, right? And you can see this happening. So this is why you always need logs, right? Oh, there you go. Hey. So we are going to be enabling the logs. And yes, of course, you can be legally required to present the logs later, right? Yes, and this is your backup. So for that, you need to go to the settings. This is already the settings, so you can stay here if you want. These are already the settings, as you see. And in these settings, you search for logging. So you can go to search, logging, OK? And once you are in logging and you see that, you go to logging in the project. Search for logging, search for logging. And then you go to all tools, you click in requests, and as soon as you click, you're going to have a folder open. And then you say, where do you want to store them? For me, it's going to be burp, log, class 13, and we press enter. So that is going to be my log file. And then you also click on responses, so you have both, OK? This is going to be in your local computer. and then we can close the settings. Okay, everybody? Internet? I will give you some seconds. So now we have Burp open as a proxy. Now we need to tell our browser, go and use the proxy. If not, the browser will not use the proxy. And here we have a small issue. And the problem is that Chrome, the browser Chrome, for security reasons, does not allow you to proxy into localhost. I'm not sure why. It's like this. So it's not possible in this setup to use Chrome directly to connect to Burp. Two options. The preferred one, and I would like you to try, is when you are in Burp, and in this case, we try in Linux, we try in Windows, we try in Mac, and everything, you should have inside the proxy intercept, you should have the button Open Browser. So if you click Open Browser, you should have a new browser popping up. And this is the browser that we are going to try. If this is not working for you, here you have instructions to make it work in Linux. So I will give you some minutes to be sure that whatever you're using, it's working. If you're not using Chrome, or you don't want to use Chrome, or this is not working for you, there is a section here also for Firefox. So in Firefox, you can use Foxy Proxy. You have to install the extension. The instructions are here. And then we are going to be configuring it. So I will give you minutes to install Firefox Foxy Proxy if you need. Or, optionally, just open the browser in Burp. If the browser opens, you are fine. If you have questions, tell us. If the browser opens for you, that's it. You're fine. Nothing else to do. If the browser does not open, then, or you try the Linux solution here, or you try Firefox. The main difference is that in Firefox, you need to configure Foxy Proxy to go to the IP and port of Burp. This is the only difference in Foxy Proxy. In this Chromium, it's already configured for you. Okay, everybody? Internet? Are you going fine? Questions? Issues? Somebody does not have the Chromium working or any proxy working? This is the tool you're going to be using the whole class, okay? Can I continue? Sure? Yes? Okay, let's go then. So, now that you have the Chromium open or Firefox open, we need to test if actually this is working. And for that, you need to go to localhost 3000, just like that, in your Chromium. So let me make this larger. And then you should see the juice shop, exactly like you did or saw last class, only that now through a proxy. Okay? Perfect. Now, up to this point, we configure a browser, the proxy, Burp to intercept, and modify everything. Now we are ready to start testing. So when you're analyzing a web application, you have no clear idea what can happen and cannot happen, right? Imagine that in this case, you have no idea what it is for. You are starting the analysis. So the first step of the methodology is actually try to guess and get inside as many places as you can in the web page, the exploration part, okay? So our first step is going to be go into the web page and try to use it. Just use it, everything that you can do. Because this is a pen test, you are allowed to do whatever you can do in here. Everything is allowed. So, for example, if you click in the basket, you will add this to the basket. What happens if I click many times? I don't know, I'm clicking many times. And then I click in the product. I can see the product. So I will leave a review. I will click submit. Maybe another review. Maybe a review with numbers. Then there are reviews in here. And it seems that I can actually click and give thumbs up. Every functionality you see in the site, try to use it. We need to find all the parts of this web page that there is an interaction, okay? This is clear? Like every part that you are sending any data to the web page, it's an opportunity for an attack. I don't care if it's a thumb up, thumb down, looking at video, I don't care. Whatever interaction that is possible with the web page, it's an opportunity maybe for an attack. So try to explore and click on the things that you believe are going to be useful. For example, I can edit the review. OK, let's edit the review. Probably this is different than adding the review. Now I will click in another product. I will go to, I don't know, this product. And I will put another review here. Doesn't seem that I can do much more. I can maybe make this larger, but this is JavaScript. I have only one review. I cannot click in nothing more. So what else we have in here? We have me wanted, whatever that is. It says the website uses fruit cookies to ensure you get user tracking experience. So I click, I want the cookies. We have also here to move into more pages. I will click on that. And then on top, we have a menu, right? So we have contact. OK, what is contact? It's going to, I don't know, customer feedback. I click on customer feedback. Oh, we have a feedback form. So I'm going to fill here something. And I will put a CAPTCHA. And I'm asking, what is the CAPTCHA? So what is the CAPTCHA? Can you solve my CAPTCHA? Thank you. And we need a rating. So I'm going to put a rating in here. And then I will click submit. And there you go. The feedback is sent. So we send the feedback. What about complain? So OK, I can complain. I will complain. And I have something I can send. Oh, look at this. So I would send, I don't know, something, let's say, a PDF. There you go. Customer support will get in touch with you soon. Perfect. I send something. And then we have a support chat. Oh, that is nice. So we can chat with some support. Hi, 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 hi. I just need to find all the requests. So explore the site. We have an about us, right? And in here we have some links. Check our body in terms of use. So I will check the terms of use. Oh, we have something here. Legal information. OK, let's go back, right? We have here, this seems to be real links to applications outside, like Blue Sky, Mastodon. You need to stay in the web page you are testing, OK? If you click here, you're going to go to Mastodon. That's not what you want. So be sure that wherever you click, it's in the website you want. Here we have images. I'm going to be clicking the images, whatever that is. Then we have stuff like photo wall, and we have photos, and we can even put some photos maybe. And also I have things like GitHub. So you click on GitHub, and if you pay attention, this is sending you to the GitHub, but in the link, let me see if you can see the link. Wait. Look at the link. The link is inside localhost. So that's good for you. You can click on that one, OK? Even though later it's going to GitHub. So you get GitHub, you have help. Yes, you have this help in here. What about here in the right? We have language. We have, I will go to Chesky. and then I'm going to go to English again. And then I have my basket. So let's see my basket. So the basket now is empty. Can I do something more in my basket? I think I cannot do anything in my basket. OK. What about my account? So here I have an account, order, payments. It seems that I can log out. I can, well, now I can log in again. So let's try to log in again. Were you also admin in your account? You were not admin? OK, so I'm going to try to log in, something. It's going to fail. It's fine. Remember me, not remember me. And if you are not a customer yet, we will do later, but we will have an account too. OK? So what else? We can search. So this is important. You can go and search things. What about A? What about B? OK? So click on stuff, gather data. I will give you some seconds, and then we continue. This is a moment that whatever you will analyze later, you should have tried before. Remember to do the GitHub one at least, because we're going to be using that one later. If you're already clicking everything, now is the moment to register a new user. So you can go to the account, log in, click not yet a customer, and then we have email, password, and password. It's not going to send you an email, so you can put whatever. So I'm going to put asf@asf.com. Remember the password because you're going to be needing it, OK? So it's going to be the asf, OK? I can show the password advice or not. Yes. Wait, let me, question or what? Can I ask you to check? There was some trouble issues. The password do not match. Let me put that again. There you go. And then, yeah, these are if we are showing advice or not. And then the security question is going to be the maternal grandmother first name. It's going to be and then you register, OK? Once you register, we will see what we can do with our user, OK? So account analysis is extremely, extremely important. You saw this also last class. And we are not going to be deep in that. But basically, what you're trying to do is that you're trying to test the authorization capabilities of the site. So if you can analyze something with a logged in user A, you're testing, can I see information that does not belong to that user? Maybe can I see information from user B? It's like logging into Facebook, but being able to see the private pictures of another account. So this is important, privacy-wise. It's crazy, maybe legally-wise. So we are going to be testing this also soon, OK? So you have your account? You have everything? Everybody? Internet, are you ready? And you can even try to log in, right? So it says the F, it says the F, it says the F.com, and password says the F, it says the F, this is mine. And then you log in, and you confirm that you log in correctly, OK? OK, now that we play with the site, we are ready to go to Burp and see what we find there. So we are going to go to Burp proxy HTTP history. So you are in Burp, proxy, HTTP history on top. And in here, you will see all the requests done by your browser through the proxy, sent and received. I have like 500, okay? And in these ones, when you click, you will see in the bottom, you will see in the bottom the request in a prettified way. So you see here the method, slash, the protocol, the host, and then many different headers of this specific web page, or the technology behind, right? So it's like the SEC, CHUA, Chromium, UA Mobile, accept language, upgrade and secure request, user agent, accept, and then you see many others maybe you don't understand. Because remember, the headers is up to whatever technology the site is using. So they can use as many headers as they want. And then you have a cookie, and then you have the if non-match, and modifying in, and to the right, you have the response, okay? So in the response, also you have the prettify version. If you click in raw, you have the raw version. If you have an X, the hexadecimal version. And if you click render, it's gonna try to render the web page there for you. So you have an idea of what's exactly that was sent to you without going to the browser, okay? So now it's gonna be in the pretty one, and this is a web page, right? A lot of things that we are gonna see how we analyze this, okay? To the right, you have the inspector, and the inspector is trying to do a summary of what happened. So you have the requested attributes, see, the get and the path. You have the requested cookies. You have the request headers, the response headers, and more, okay? So this is kind of to inspect very fast what happened with your request and responses. And you even have notes here if you want. Okay? Everybody? Perfect. So now we are going to try to start analyzing the security by repeating some of these ones. So try to find the one that is the application configuration in the proxy. So for this, you can search in the filter settings here. You see filter settings? You click filter settings, and in the filter settings, you have filters by search term. So here, you search something like application configuration, and then you apply, and there you go. You have all the requests done for application configuration, okay? I will give you some seconds so you can find it. Ready? So now you can right-click in any of these requests. So all of these ones are very similar. I will go to the first one. And then you right-click, and you can click on Send to Repeater. Right-click, Send to Repeater. And you will see that repeater now is highlighted. And you can click and go to the repeater tool. OK? So the first thing you will do in the repeater, every time you go to the repeater, is being sure that you can resend this request and get an answer back. So what you're going to be doing is clicking send, and the Burp is going to completely send that request again, and it's going to get some response. See? So this is how you check and verify here that you can actually resend something. And what we're going to be doing here is that you can edit and modify that pane, the left one, so you can send whatever you want, okay? So for example, in here, we are going to change it so it's always valid, like updating the content-led header, normalizing endings. So here, when you're sending stuff, imagine that, look at this. Imagine that I'm going to show you the where are you? Accept language. Yeah. Okay, so imagine that you change something here. You can edit this, like completely edit whatever you want. You can send to another computer. You can send the platform. You can modify any place here. So you use this one to be sure that whatever you send is actually like working for you. You can say that you are not Chromium, you can say that you are another one, right? And then you resend. So what we are going to be trying here is that if the answer you see it's 304 not modified, like the one I'm getting, that means that the original request, this request, REST admin application configuration, was already in the cache, okay? So the first time you ask for something, you receive the real thing. The second time you ask for something, you receive, hey, not modified. I'm not going to resend stuff to you because the content you're asking was not modified since the last time you asked. So this answer means, oh yeah, whatever you are asking, you already have it. So how can we do to actually recover the original and ask again and not being able to hit the cache? And for that, what we are going to be doing is deleting the header that says if non-match. So there is a header here, if non-match, and this is allowing the cache to work for us. So I'm going to delete this, just take the line and delete it completely, and then you press send again. And now we have the original web page. Okay? An example that you can modify the request to whatever you want, and in this case, we are going to be asking the application configuration, the configuration of the whole juice shop, and we force it to go back to us because we are saying, hey, if you don't have it, it's fine, just ask it again. So this header that we delete there was for the server. Do you understand this one? That was not in the client side, it was in the server side. So now we have the original request with all the configuration that we need. And this is also very important because a lot of these things are not in the web page you saw before. These are behind the scenes. So you can check, yeah, the security TXT, the promotions, the Google Auth. You can check like, yeah, you know, IP addresses, the challenges. There are many values here that, in this case, this application is showing you. Okay? Questions? No? Okay, let's keep forward. For example, examining the configuration, you can read many things. In particular, there is one with acknowledgements. So if you go here and you search in the bottom, acknowledgements, oh, there you go. You will have the acknowledgements, and it's going to say, yeah, for the acknowledgements, you can go to this page. Do you see how this is a web page? It's the part of the URL. So if you copy this one, scoreboard, and now, because you don't know this scoreboard, you can go to the web page again, and instead of search, you put scoreboard, and when you click enter, it's actually going to celebrate because it was the hidden dashboard for the challenges of Juice Shop. So try to see if you can solve this one. One of the first challenges is, can you see the hidden dashboard? And this was the hidden dashboard. Was it clear? Questions? Do you see what was hidden, not hidden? Internet? So who can tell us why this was hidden in a way? Go.
It wasn't directly linked from the website?
Very, very correct question. It's hidden because from the original website, there was no link or anything you can click or interact that is going to take you here. Even if you have an automatic tool searching for all the links and all the tree of the web page, that was not there. Or you imagine it, or in this case, you force some file to go back to you, and in that file was referenced, sometimes by mistake, parts of the web page that were hidden, okay? So that was one of the first things we're going to be doing for trying how to use Burp. Now, let's go to the Burp target part. So if you go to Burp target, here, you will see that in the left, you have many web pages. In the right, you have, similar to the proxy, the things that were coming and going, and the request and the response, very similar. But what we are going to be doing is that we want to force Burp to only send requests to the target we are analyzing. So are we analyzing GitHub content? No. Are we analyzing Cloudflare? No. These are things that were linked from the page. We want to analyze the local host. So we are going to do right-click on localhost, and we are going to add to scope. Add to scope. So we forced the whole tool only to work with this web page. The moment you click on Add to Scope, it's going to actually ask you, do you want me to stop any other request that is not in the scope? Yes, please. Do not send to any web page anything that is not in scope. And this is sometimes for legal reasons, OK? Got it? After this, if you click on the sitemap filter on the top, sitemap filter on the top, there, you will see that you have a filter. And if you click on this filter, in the middle of the screen, you will have in filter by request type. And the one we want is show only in-scope items. This is kind of also a protection for us, forcing in the display only to see the request in scope. So when you apply and close, you will see that now you only see the web page you're attacking. OK? A little bit of protection here. OK, let's move forward. After, yeah, this is what you should be seeing, right? So manual exploration of a website works like this. You see something you like, right-click, you send to repeater, and you start to explore. How does it work? What happens if I change something here? What happens if I change something there? Right? So imagine I will go to Burp again. I will go to the repeater, and then you can play people. You say, what happens if I just, I don't know, delete the platform macOS because I don't like it, and I send. Oh, it seems that maybe nothing happened. What happens if I delete or I change part of this token to whatever? I will put just trash in here. And then, oh, it seems it's coming back, so it's not using the authorization cookie. What if I don't put the user email here, right? And I send it. Oh, it seems that that's also OK. I don't care. What if I take the cookie out, right? And then, oh, the cookie was important because I sent it and it's telling me a bad request. I changed something that was weird. And also you can go back. Here you have the back. So you can go back to the previous one until you find that actually this is, oh, no, I make a mistake. When I was deleting the cookie, I deleted it incorrectly. So now let's delete the cookie completely. And now let's send it. Oh, I can still see this, OK? Here is where you change and you play. You can even try other things. REST admin, get me another file, and then you click, and there is an interval server error because that file probably doesn't exist, right? And even you have an error, okay? So forcing errors is actually very important because you will find information in these errors. If I even cannot render from here, but if you could render, you will see what's going on. So here it's like, oh, what's it's telling me? Actually, I can see the roots, the verify, there are JavaScripts in here, right? Maybe like you have lucky and you find some internal folder. I cannot see an internal folder. OK? It's clear the methodology. You get something, you start to play, and directly there, you can be much, much more fruitful than only the browser. All of these headers, you cannot modify if you are only attacking with the browser easily. OK? So let's do the first real attack about the session cookie analysis. So why are we using cookies? Yeah. Why are we using cookies, people? The actions we did before. Not completely, because the actions are not there, right? Ah, the queue. Yeah. Sorry, the answer was to remember the actions we did before. Not completely.
Just also, when you logged into that profile, it will remember that it's you logged into the profile, not someone else.
Remember that it's you, that's more correct. Usually, the problem, like, I'm not sure if you ever thought about this, like, why do we need cookies? Doesn't sound weird for you that we need this weird technology? Like, we need a special string that my browser is gonna remember and store on my disk, and then the next time I'm sending a request, it's gonna put it back. This sounds very old, right? And actually it is, because when the web was first invented, there was no mechanisms for this authentication and authorization. Nobody thought about it. So if you send a request, originally, everything coming from your IP address and your port to that IP address and port was you. But then we start to share the IP addresses, and then we have two people in the same office, in the same university, going to the same web page. And then the web page cannot differentiate anymore which request is from whom. So cookies were the patch to solve the problem of, oh, I need to know if there are two users or actually two different browsers in the same computer, which one is which one, so I can actually answer you. So it's a very simple mechanism to keep track of who is who, including login, including if you are here or not. That's why if you are able to steal a cookie from anybody, even like in a coffee shop and with a man-in-the-middle proxy, the moment you steal a cookie, you are that person. You just put the cookie in your browser, and you're logging as that user. That's it, right? So it's like super powerful. So we are actually ready for the break, so I'm gonna stop here. Let's go have 10 minutes of break, and then we will continue with the session analysis, okay? So we are back at 3:46. Hi. Okay, let's continue, okay? So, let's continue internet, come back, bring your yogurt, your Greek yogurt, with your cornflakes or whatever you're having, and let's continue the attack. And we recover the podium. Hey, habemos podium. They wanted to take them out, but we resisted. So, session cookie analysis, okay? So we are gonna be trying to modify and attack this cookie. So remember, the cookie is just this string, nothing more. You are sending it in every request, and that's how it works. So let's gonna go and be sure you're logged in. Then let's go to the proxy tab, filter settings, and we are gonna be filtering for who am I? Who am I? Okay? So let's go to Burp. Let's go to proxy, filter, search, who am I, enter, and you have all the who am I's. Okay? Who am I, who am I, who am I, who am I, who am I? So, how do cookies work? If you click on the first one you ever did, you will see that you are doing the request, in this case, a get to the REST user, who am I? And you have here some generic cookie. This is a generic cookie given by the site when you got in. But the important piece is that the answer, the response, is using the header set cookie. Set cookie is what is telling you that this is a request setting a cookie on you. The cookie is coming to you for the first time, okay? And it's setting this cookie. So this is an important piece of information. Okay? Now that you have this set cookie, if you click on the next request, so this was the first one, if you click on the second one, now you will see that that cookie is used in two places. One in the header called authorization, and second, sometimes in the one called cookie. In here, not in the cookie one, only authorization. Let me see if I have one with two. Yeah, I have here with two. So my third request, my third request has the authorization token, the bearer, and the cookie one. See? Can you see that one? I will only make sure to find one, in my case, that belongs to my user, because I was first logged in as admin. So let me find another one so you and me, we have the same. Yes, question, go.
Sorry, is the receiving of the cookie somehow confirmed to the browser?
Sorry?
Is the reception of the cookie somehow confirmed to the browser, or?
The reception of the cookie, it's not confirmed in the moment you set. You set it, and that's it. But after you set it, so let me do that again, but after you set it, if you go to your following request, the next one should have the cookie there. That is what is telling the server, oh, you gave me this cookie before, now I'm sending back to you. See, it's me. This is the only thing that is tying you to that session, because you are sending it in every request now.
And what exactly prompts the server to send us a cookie?
Whatever the server wants. So in this case, it's because the server wants you to be logged in. So the moment you get and you are logged, the server says, oh, I have a new session coming from Czech Republic. This IP, the login was this user, this password. Okay, I will assign you an ID, a random ID, and everything I will put in a cookie and send back to you. So every time you send back that cookie, I know it's you. So the server decides. Some sites put cookie for everything. Some cookies are huge. There are sites putting cookie for everything you can imagine. The product, the basket of your buyings online, the history of your request. This is up to the developers, right? That's why each web page is completely different. You need to go to the web page and understand what is this web page doing. What are the developers doing, right? They are trying to solve some problem. Okay, so now that you see this, be sure that whatever you are sending has the long cookie in the bottom. Long cookie, okay? Long cookie in the bottom of your request. Got it? In my case, it's like 472. Internet? No questions? You're quiet today. So now that we have this cookie, we are going to send it to the repeater. So you get into the request, right-click, repeater. Always we send it again, just to be sure that we still get the same response. There you go, we have a response. And you can see the response, it's okay, access control, recruiting. They have even a special recruiting header. So if you want to work for them, and this is not the, many sites are doing this, that they hide a header that if you want to work for them, you notice that because you are trying to analyze the security of the web page, and then you go into this web page and maybe they are offering you a job, right? This is actually common in cybersecurity. We are not going to go there now. So they also have more information, the date, and then they have kind of a JSON going back to you. And in this JSON, they have a user with an ID, your email, your last login IP, and where is your profile image. This is what they are sending you when you're asking the who am I? And who you are, how do they know who you are? Because of the cookie. Because you're sending the cookie, they know who you are. Okay? Clear? Now, if you have an if one match header, let's delete that one, this one. If you don't have it, it's fine, in the bottom. And I'm going to resend. This is just to be sure that we have no cache in the middle and you receive the correct answer. And we already answered, how does the application know your personal data? Because of the cookie. So in my case, I have a cookie, something like that. You have a token, a language, a welcome banner, a cookie consent status. All of this depends on the developers. This is not unique. That's why it's so interesting to see what a web page is doing. You go to a web page and say, what are you doing, web page? How are you managing this? So what we are going to be doing is copy the token of your cookie. Copy the token of your cookie. So if this is my cookie, I will copy the token. Not the word token equal, just the token. Copy, 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 copy. Okay? I didn't copy completely. Let me do that again. Copy, 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 copy. Okay? Now, we are going to go to CyberChef. We are going to put this in the input, and we are going to try the magic. So if you go to the magic, like you did many times, you will see that the first recommendation of this magic is the JWT decode. And if you click in JWT decode, it's going to decode the cookie for you. And this is the real content of your cookie. The cookie was formatted in a specific format, JWT, and if you know this format, you can open the format, you can interpret the format. That is the content of your cookie. Your ID as a user, your username, your email, your password. You may say, oh, is it not bad to send a password back to the user in a cookie? Well, it is. Unfortunately, a lot of web pages sometimes are doing this. I hope less and less this day. Still, some developers want to store the cookie with some password or something to identify you, and sometimes the password goes there. The role, I'm a customer, I don't have a deluxe token, my last login IP, profile image, TOT secret is empty, is active true, created, updated, deleted, and IIT. Okay? Yes, go.
Is it wrong to send the password in a cookie because the possibility of lack of encryption or something?
Well, for many reasons, you can lose it, they can steal it, and also you don't need that, right? If you have the password inside and you have the hash, the user is going to send the hash to log in every time. So storing it there to check that later is extremely lazy, right? It's like bad programming. Like, yeah, don't do that, yeah.
Yeah, and the hash would be okay then?
You don't need to store anything. You can transfer the hash when you need to check, but what the people sometimes they don't want is to put the password again, but that's why you have IDs and you have hashes, not the hash of the password, hash of the ID, hash of as an identifier, like the PHP identifier, that's fine. But storing your password, even hash in the cookie, very bad. Somebody steals that, and then they crack it, and they have the password, right? So that's bad practice. So what is JWT? So this JWT is called the JSON Web Token, and this is an URL-safe format to store specific information for authentication and authorization. So it has 3 parts, a base64 part encoded, concatenated with a dot, then a base64 encoded payload concatenated with a dot, and then a signature. So I'm not sure you can use this web page to see how to do it. And this is the format you have there. Okay? Very common format for storing cookies for you. The issue is that there are some vulnerabilities or some misconfigurations you can do in the cookie, apart from the password. And in this case, the issue is that, so if you copy this JSON element to the input, so I'm gonna take that, and you can copy paste, or you can actually click this button, replace input with output. So that's it. I move it to the input, okay? Now I have this information here in the input, okay? Now I can modify the email parameter. So I can go here and say, oh, I don't want to be this email. I want to be gmail.com. So you can modify part of whatever you want. In this case, I'm going to modify the email. Please do. And then we can use the special operation JWT sign. So I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to put JWT. And we have an operation called JWT sign. And the problem and the vulnerability in use shop was that the algorithm used was none, because it was not signed. So if you sign this JWT, then it's fine, because you cannot modify, because you cannot resign, because you don't have the password for that. The vulnerability here was that that JWT was not signed. Now that you choose that, you have a new value here, see? A new value. You copy this new value, and then you replace in Burp. So you go to Burp, you go to your original token, you can delete it, and then you passed the new one. We are changing our token to have a different email. And then you send. And you confirm that the information that you were putting in the new JWT, it's used by the server. Please see if this works for you. This is a vulnerability that you can exploit, and it's a real one. We are giving fake information, and the server is taking whatever is in the cookie because believes the cookie is trusted, so it's not verifying this, and is using that email to send us back information to us. And this we can use for so many things. Cross-site scripting maybe there is a SQL injection here, many things. Okay, I will wait for you. Internet? Was it clear? Questions? Session cookie attack? Yes. If you have it signed.
If we have it signed, the JWT, can we decode it?
Can we decode it? Yes, because like in signatures, cryptographic signatures, it's not encryption. So there is no hiding, no confidentiality, right? It's just the information and then a signature of the hash. So you can see it, but in a cryptographic signature, you cannot modify, because then you need the private key to sign again, right? That's the thing. The site can give you new cookies because they have their own private keys, right? So the solution is simple. But this is usually because the developers don't know how to use it and they miss it. So let's exploit this vulnerability to actually change who we are. So first, we need to find the correct cookie for the admin. So let's repeat the process. You already have this one. You have the who am I. That's good. You already sent it. You don't have to do this. This is just for you to know what we are. Yes, you have the token. Yes, you copied already. We did this. You went to JWT. Yes, you have the information. Don't need to redo. Just be sure that you have it also in the input, right? So you need to have in CyberChef something here in the input. Just be sure, okay, that you didn't delete that. And now we need to modify this. Instead of a dummy email, we want the email and the ID of the administrator of the site. So we need to change this ID and this email for the administrator of the site, because we want to impersonate the administrator of the site. So who can tell me what is the ID and the email of the administrator of the site? ID is 1 because it's the first user. Very well. Of course, we don't know. This is a part that you need to guess. But if you are building a website, the first IDs are usually the test administrators, owners, because they are starting. So if the ID is not randomized, another vulnerability that you should report, usually the first ones are the important ones. So a guess is, yeah, the ID is going to be 1. I will try that one. Now we need an email. So what is the email? And I will say, the email, we don't know, but you can try to find it. So how would you find it? And for that, we are going to be searching for admin or something like admin in the whole request we did. So if you go to proxy again, you go to filter, you just search for something admin. In this case, I'm putting admin at, but maybe also works without. And you will see that in many parts, in the JSONs, in the languages, in the applications, and in many other places, from time to time, there is something coming that has this piece of information. So I just click in there, and now I will try to search in the request, and you will see that somehow I'm sending something called x-user-email-admin@juicyshop.op. And you can search many others: login, who am I, application, search. Can you see it? Maybe you have it in different places, so you can try to filter admin at. If you don't have it, maybe it's because you didn't click in enough places in the web page. Because even in the contact form appears the administrator. Okay? Can you see it? Nothing? You don't have it? Oh, you need to click more. I will give you some seconds to search one by one. Yes, internet.
Everything is interesting, and we are watching Speechless.
I thought it was a question. But thank you. Speechless, but writing. Thank you very much for writing. Okay. If you don't have it, it's okay. You can copy this one. I can assure you that if you go enough inside the whole site, in some of your requests, you will have it there. So now that we know what would be this one, in particular here, there is one for main JavaScript, for example. Even if you request the main JavaScript, you will see that's inside the JavaScript, which is very weird. So now that we have the email, admin@juice-sh.op, then go to CyberChef and modify the email with this email. You can write by hand, admin@juice-sh.op. Okay? And then, same as before, no sign-in algorithm. You have a new token. You copy the token. You go to the Burp. Same parameters, same everything. And I go to Burp, to repeater. I am in the who am I in the repeater, same as before. And you just, as before, modify the token for this special one. And then you send, and you confirm that you are returned the admin. Did it work? Yes? These people right now means that you can send requests to the site, and the site will believe that you are the admin, because it's not checking that you have the password, because you are sending the cookie directly. You were able to modify the cookie to impersonate anyone that you want, in this case, the administrator. That is another vulnerability. Can we log in as the user admin? No, we cannot. We don't know the password. But we can send requests as the admin. So now that we can send requests as the admin, let's try to change the password of the administrator. And how do we do that? Well, the funny thing is that you can try to change the password of your own user because you are logged in as a user. So what we are going to be doing here is go to the web page, the Juice Shop, with your browser, click in your account, click in privacy and security, and click in change password. So you are going to be changing your own password. So you need to remember your previous password, And now I'm going to be putting another one. What we want is a request on how to change a password. And that's it. I change my own password, okay? I will give you some seconds. Now we can go to the proxy HTTP history in Burp. So again, Burp, proxy, history. And we need to search for password, because we want to see the request for changing the password. You press enter, and if you pay attention, the last one, because we just did it, is a get request to rest user change password. Do you have it? I will give you time. Internet, can you see that? Yes? Perfect. Now that we have this one, what do? We send to the repeater, right-click, send to repeater. You go to the repeater. And in this one, you will see that the change of password is sent in the parameters of the URL. It may sound weird to send it there. Actually, if this page is encrypted, you don't care, because or you send it there or you send it back like in the post data. Anyway, you need to send it. So I would say it's weird to put it in the URL, but it's not a problem. So you should have here your current password and your new password for your own user. Do you imagine what you need to do? We have a request for changing a password of one user, our. And before, we fake created the cookie for the admin. So what we need to do is to go there. First, I will send it again just to be sure. I was always sending it again. So I changed my password again, let's say. So here you have the confirmation, right? So what we do is we copy the cookie of the admin. Remember, we have it here in CyberChef. And we passed it in the authorization bearer token. So you go to Burp. You have here the authorization bearer token. And you just replace that with the cookie of the admin. OK? And then here, you will have the current password and the new passwords. I'm not going to change the password, but I can. And you click send. And if everything works, you will have a confirmation that the email admin, the role admin, has changed the password. I will give you some seconds for you to do. Did it work? Yes? And now, people, you change the password of the admin user. So what you do? You log out in your browser, you log in, you put the email of the admin, and the password that you just changed. Log in, nothing. Did it work for you? I change it again. If this is not working for you, you can try also to put this in the token of the cookie. Because you don't know what's taken exactly, right? So I now change the token of the cookie and the token of the bearer. I have the email again, the password again. I try to log in. Didn't work for me also. Did it work for you? The what, sorry? The what? The content, the continue code? We don't know what it is, right? So I would say that maybe you can delete it, maybe not. So I will redo my example, just to be sure. I will go to Cyber Chef. I have my success token. I'm sure I created correctly. I copy it. I will go to Burp again. I will put it in the authorization token. Quer, send. And now I'm going to reload. I'm going to be putting my email again. Password, quer. And now I'm logging. Something in the middle, maybe I copied correctly, maybe I didn't change correctly. This is not extremely deterministic. You have in the background databases, checks, JavaScripts, whatever. So you try until it works for you. Did it work? Yes? Internet? And now, people, you're admin. Aren't you happy? Ooh, you log in and you stole the admin account. This happened many times on the internet, people, many times. Stealing cookies because of errors that allow you to log in as an admin, plenty. This is why it's not even one of the highest challenges in Juice Shop, right? By the way, there are like 60 challenges here for you, okay? So that is one that you can even check in your dashboard. Yes?
Is it common for the admin email to be somehow sent in the request, as was the case here? Because with like this was part of the attack, so how would we get the admin email?
So the admin email, in this case, is what the web page requires. But these are not extremely hard because usually companies, they do not hide the emails. So you can go to the list of people working in the company in LinkedIn, take 50, you have the emails, and you can try one after the other. It's like not super hard. Like the administrators, the IT, the system people, marketing people, somebody you will get in. And then you have an account, and then you may have another one, right? Like if you're lucky and you have the admin, like here, amazing, right? Some systems, they don't want the email. I'm not sure if you noticed, but some systems you cannot log in by email. Like they require some username. And that's because they want something different, right? Sometimes like, no emails, only username. And then your username can be whatever you want. So now I cannot guess it. And then I need to find out what is your username, right? So many ways to try to avoid this situation. Of course, now we have double-factor authentication with sending numbers from satellites or whatever. But a lot of problems are still there, okay? Yeah.
A question from the internet. So it does not actually check if the current password sent is correct.
Correct. In this case, that's a vulnerability in the server side. The developers decided, and this is not uncommon, because they decided to trust the cookie. And why shouldn't you? It's your cookie. You create this cookie because you check the password, and then you say the password is correct, you create a cookie, you send the cookie, that's it. I'm not going to be checking your password every request. What does it mean, checking your password every request? That every time you click in any link, I need to ask you to log in again. Can you imagine that? Evidently not, right? You cannot log in every request. That's why we have cookies. So trusting the cookie is common. What is not common is not to sign the cookie. Okay? What is not common is to have IDs that are small, That's why usually the IDs are very large chunks of strings, because it's impossible to find the ID. That's sometimes the only security you have. If you get now in some site, I don't know, the PHP ID, and you can guess another person ID, you are in. The problem is like trillions of possibilities, right? That's the real problem. So, and apart from signing.
Okay, another question.
Yes.
So the current password in the URL is not being used at all.
The current password is not used, and that's another vulnerability. Like, if I'm changing my password, you should check that my current password is in these requests, right? And not only when you're doing in the web. So that, yes, is another vulnerability. Yes. So let's go to open redirect vulnerabilities. What is an open redirect? An open redirect is when the application is accepting user input, your input, and it's building, constructing a URL to redirect your browser to an external website. You are sending me something, and I'm using that something to tell you where to go. Then we have possibility of an open redirect analysis. So many pages need to be redirected. This is very common. That's not the issue. The problem is that using the redirect, this is the normal case. Like the normal user, I send something like redirect me to secure.com, and the web server says, header location, that is the redirection, header location, secure.com, normal case. Now, the pen testing case, your case, oh, I'm telling you to redirect to evil.com, and you are redirecting me to evil.com. And you will think, why do I care? I mean, I'm asking the server to send me to evil.com. I can go to evil.com any moment I want. I don't need the server to redirect me. This is kind of stupid, right? Where is the vulnerability? The vulnerability is because in the attacking case, an attacker will send you something like an email, a link, a chat, WhatsApp, picture, whatever. The attacker will send you something, and the moment you click, you, now the victim, are gonna tell a web server, for example, to send you to evil.com, or your bank, or whatever. And then this is the problem of open redirections. When you're a pen tester, you are trying to see if the vulnerability exists, but you're not going to be attacking yourself. In a real attack, somebody is forcing you to receive the redirection and go. And this works so well, people. Like, I will ask your bank, I will attack you, and then I will force you to go to your bank, and your bank to tell you that the transfer should go to mysite.com. That is the attacker's site. And then I trust my bank. When my banks send me to payhere.com, I will go and pay here. But this was orchestrated by the attacker. Was it clear? Was it confusing?
So once again, how exactly can just visiting a website be exploited?
How? It's because something that I'm sending to the website, in this case, http, evil.com, hi, whatever, something that I'm sending, the application in the website, the developers, are using that to redirect me to some place. And this redirection is actually very common. Sometimes you need to redirect people. When you are here in the application and you click on any of these sites here, these are redirections. You need to go to social networks, you need to go to places. So redirections are very common. The problem is that they need to be secure so nobody's attacking you and sending you to malicious sites. Okay? So let's try this one. So you go to Burp, start searching for redirect in the proxy. Burp, proxy, filter settings, search for redirect, press enter. I actually have several redirects. If you go to the first one, it's redirect to github.com. Do you remember this one? Because we click in the, where is your GitHub? You should find this one, okay? Send to the repeater. Go to repeater, press send, be sure it works. Perfect. Redirecting to this. We don't care so much about the text. This is not a redirection. This is a redirection, the location header. Okay? Now, you need to figure it out how this mechanism works, because every site is doing it differently. So, for example, can I redirect you to, let me try, can I redirect you to, I will delete this, and I will redirect you to www.google.com. I'm going to try. I press send. No, not acceptable. Okay, can I redirect you to, I don't know, pepito.com? Send. Not acceptable. Okay, maybe I'm missing the HTTP www. No, maybe Pepito doesn't exist. What about test.com? No. Can I need HTTPS? No. See, I cannot modify the redirection. I cannot force the site to redirect me because there are security protections in line. I will give you 3 minutes to play with this to see if you can find how to redirect. It's possible to force the redirection. You need to put something here that ends up in the location header of the answer. See if you can do it, internet too. Yes, there are no clear rules. It's a little bit artistic. You need to have intuition, move around, try things. Try to understand why this is not working. What is the developer doing? You broke the server?
I think the first one, maybe.
Okay. Can you try the second one or the third one? I think it
auto-disconnected me from my terminal, so it works.
Ah, okay, perfect. I had the ROM issues. Okay, thank you. So, anybody want to say something? What did you try? Did it make it work? Not? Internet? Did you find something that maybe goes in some direction? Let me cube you.
We can keep the URL and prepend the site we want to redirect to.
Very, very well. Did you hear what he said? He said that what you need to realize is that the site has a protection that wants to redirect to this site. So there is something that we don't see. Checking github.com is part of the URL. So this must be there, but we don't want to go there. So what we can do is that we can prepend any other site we want to go, like google.com or whatever, and then somehow we need to concatenate something that says github.com. And then it's our site. We can do whatever we want. I can put a parameter called test equal. So that would be a fake parameter that doesn't exist in Google, but when you try to send this, then it's going to say, oh, sure, I can send you to that location. I'm going to send you to google.com, and then some weird parameter, what we want in there. So if you are an attacker, instead of google.com, you can do evil.com or test.com or whatever, and it's your site. So you can do whatever you want with that parameter. Nothing is going to happen. So now, let me go here. If you go to, you see the locations, and you see what is working there. So it's, let me see, if you do it from here, I'm going to copy the link. Right? And in here, in the link in my URL, I'm going to say http www.google.com, and then I'm going to put a parameter test equals something, right? And then I'm redirected to Google. So this is a problem, a vulnerability. They are not correctly checking that you can do open redirects, okay? Was it clear? Yes? Perfect. So, and the thing is that there are a lot of websites that have this issue, so that's real. You can go and read there about real cases and other situations exploiting this, but there are many situations that this can be avoided. So, now let's use this concept of open redirects to force our second stage, which is the complex open redirect called server-side request forgery. So what is the server-side request forgery? It's a vulnerability where the attacker, that is you, is tricking the server to make requests into other computers, especially internal computers, but any computer works. So you are the attacker, and you are going to send something to the website. You are going to send a GET, a POST, anything, and you are forcing the web server to make like an open redirection, but to any place you want. Now, the redirection is not happening in the client side, it's not the server redirecting you, it's the server kind of redirecting itself, forcing the server to connect to a website. You understand this? Is it clear? If you can force the web server itself to go to a website, you may have a vulnerability. Let me repeat that. If you can force the web server, not your browser, not the client, the web server to go to any website, you may have a vulnerability. And the vulnerability is that if I can choose where the web server is going, I can redirect you to the web page of your local router. I can redirect you to the login page of your internal database. I can redirect you to any page inside your network. You see the problem? Is it clear? I'm going to send something, a request with server-side, because it's server-side, it's not client-side, server-side request forgery. I'm forging, I'm changing the request. And then the web application says, oh, sure, do you want me to go to this page? I will go there for you. And is, for example, redirected to an internal computer. Questions? What is the problem? No? Okay, so we have two ways of trying this. First, we have in SCL and in your CTU Dockers, we have a special vulnerable server called vulnerable server, and that is running this code here, so you can check the code. And we are going to be abusing this code so you can see very simply how it works. I will leave the code there for you to see later. But breaks. Okay, we can have a break. Sorry. Yes, I skip it. I don't know why I skip it. I thought that we already have a break before.
One break. Seba, maybe you show the passcode?
Yes, I can do that one. So the passcode that I'm not going to show now, yes, I'm going to show it, yes, no, later. This is not what you want, is it Charlie? I think it's not. Is it? There are a lot of fish in the password. Fishes. A school of fish. Well, do you know, okay, I will tell you the difference of what is a school of, okay, let's go to the break and I will tell you this later. So 48, we are back, okay, internet, 10 minutes, you can go and get your morcipan. Okay, go people. So, internet, come back. Internet. Internet. You can check on the asado later, it's going to be fine.
I have a question from the internet.
Yes.
So maybe we can start with that. How to set a fixed static response for a web page so that whenever it makes a request, it gets the modified response we tamper.
Again?
We tamper with. Again?
Yes.
How to set a fixed static response for a web page so that whenever it makes the request, it gets the modified response like that we tamper. Like.
I'm not sure if I understand that one.
Okay, I will
so
try.
You have a web page, it's your web page, you put a static answer, which is going to be the same for everything. So I request, you always send me the same page.
Like if the web page is sending a request, is password valid after 10 seconds to the server with the user password? Do you want to read it?
No, it's fine. I don't know why the web server does not make requests. You do the request to the web server, right? The web server does the response. Okay, tell me if we got it correctly and explain, please. So while we wait for that, we were in the server-side request forging exercise number 1. So actually now you can go to your Dockers, SCL or in here or wherever you are, and you can try to go to the vulnerable web server. So if you are in your Dockers, please log into your Dockers. And you try to go to the Cur HTTP vulnerable server, you will see that there is something coming. So you confirm, oh yes, I have access to that, okay? Now, you can try in this vulnerable web server to actually, actually let me see, I wanted to do something happened here. Okay. Oh, later, in the next exercise. Okay, let's try this one, sorry. I thought I were in the next one. So, what you can try is to do the vulnerable web server, and then you can put the URL parameter. This is something that we put by hand, so I will explain later how you get to this parameter. URL parameter, and then you can try any web page that you want. So if you want to do that, and you do the curl, what you have is the HTML of the page you requested, example.com in this case. So this is very simple, just for you to have an idea. There is a web page, but sometimes if you mess with some parameters, in this case the URL parameter that we completely made up, you can force the computer server to go to example.com and give you the site. So this is example number 1. And now let's see slowly how we get a little bit there. And of course, you can abuse this in many ways. For example, you can force the server to download big images or like big files, and you can use the whole disk space or memory. You can use it as a proxy to amplify attacks because you are forcing that computer to go to another one. so you can attack others from there, okay? Most importantly, you can actually try to go to internal networks. So this is a setup right now in SCL and in your CTU Dockers, right? You have an exposed web server, and you are the attacker, and there is another network that you don't see. There is a network behind the server, the internal network, but you don't see this. But this web server can go to a database or internal server or stuff like that. So let's try slowly to go in how to exploit this vulnerability. And I will tell you first why this vulnerability is so important, server-side request forgery. And the example is the case that happened in 2019. In 2019, Capital One of the biggest banks, financial institutions, was victim to a data leak. They stole data from them. And at that time was the largest data leak stolen ever in the history of the internet. And the whole attack in 2018 happened because of a server-side request forgery. And exactly what happened was that the attacker sent an HTTP request to Capital One, to some internet application, that was protected by a web application firewall, a WAF. And the WAF was misconfigured. And the attacker realized that they can force the WAF to go into any other application they want. They had a server-side request forgery vulnerability. And what they did is they forced the victim web page to go to the internal AWS endpoints. And these endpoints, I'm not sure if you know, but in AWS, you used to have a fixed local IP address, that IP address, that is available for every endpoint in AWS. And in there, you can request your own credentials of your user in AWS. You have them there because it's yours. So they actually ask from the web server to the internal AWS endpoint, server-side request forgery, the credentials, and they just receive the user and password for the complete AWS infrastructure of the bank. Once they got that, they just log into the S3 and they download the whole company. 3 steps. Largest data stolen on the history up to that point. Everything was because of a server-side request forgery. So that is how important it is. Let's now analyze the situation you have to exploit. In the class 13 container and in the CTU network, you have an IP address that belongs to this, to this network. And all the containers right now communicate in this network. This is your usual situation, right? If you go to your Docker and you see your IP, you have an IP in that network, okay? Like the whole semester. Now, the secret server that is in the Docker network has another network behind. That is the 172.35, That you cannot see. If you try to ping this IP from your Docker, you will not see that one. If I do this from here, you will not see that one. So there is a network that is completely hidden for you, okay? Please try to make sure. Okay? If you try to get to the secret server -treasure, for example, nothing. You cannot even resolve it. It's not there. I will try from here, not there. Okay, everybody? Now, in the middle, you have another server, the vulnerable server. Remember, you are here, the vulnerable server that we are going to be attacking, the secret server in an internal network. Internet, you have exactly the same. So this vulnerable server has 2 IP addresses, one in your network, one in the secret network, okay? this is the one we are going to be attacking. Clear for everybody? Anybody lost? Let's exploit it now. So, to exploit it, we need to see the web page in our browsers. I want you to see the web page of the vulnerable server in your browsers. So, I will use another of my shells, another of your shells in your host computer to redirect you to this vulnerable server. So I'm going to go to my computer. I'm going to do another redirection. I think it was 1981, right? Yes. But now, I'm going to redirect it to another port. Not 3000, because 3000 is taken, right? And again, I need to change Makalu because for me it was not working. Maybe it was working for you. Vulnerable server. (1991). For some reason, it gets not connected to me. Do you have the same problem, people? Do you have an issue connecting? No? Why I have issues connecting? I have no idea. Let me try again. Vulnerable server, port 80. I'm very impressed. I don't know what's going on. This is working. So I know, because I'm putting twice my port for me. Okay, there you go. My bad. So if you are doing this in your computer or in a CL like that, then when you access the port that you redirected, in my case it was 3003, you should see the monster bank. Do you see that? Everybody? Monster banking? So this is the web page of the vulnerable server in the middle. And now, in this vulnerable server, you have a very simple input that says, oh, this is your new server. If you click log news, now you will see a redirection to the Hacker News. So now you know that there is a parameter called URL, and that this parameter is the one that is being used for the redirection. So this is just an example of how the redirection may work in a web page. Okay? Of course, very clearly, the only input here that you can be redirected. So let's try to abuse it right now. If now you have the parameter, now you can do from your Docker a curl to the vulnerable server, and now the exploit is that you are going to be redirecting to the secret server /treasure. So when you do that, if it works, not for me, not for me. Maybe it was down. Oh, maybe it's down. Is it working for you? Let me see without the parameter. Oh, maybe the Docker is down. Can anybody check? Oh, there you go. Something come. Oh, it was probably. Oh, there you go. Yes, now it's working. Maybe it was like too many people connecting. So if you do the attack, now you will have an answer and the text "good job." That is a confirmation that you forced the vulnerable server to go to some place that there was this internal server that you couldn't find before. Okay? Clear? Perfect. So that is the application of the vulnerable server-side request forgery. There is another one in Juice Shop. I will leave this for you as an example, but UseShop also has one there that you can check. It's exactly the same type of attack, only that you need to find where this is happening, okay? So you go, you move around, and then you have to do the same attack as before, okay? I will leave it to you, so you can play later. Exactly the same situation, but you have to find where in UseShop is happening the redirection, okay? And then you can read the answer here. Questions about server-side request forgering? Yes.
Do we ever want a server to make some like really request to a place specified by the user in like this specific manner? I mean, we might want to do some internal OK requests based on some user activity, but we rarely do really want a redirect of this sort, right?
Sorry, no, I completely lost. We don't want what?
I do not know, or like I do not see the use case, which would be the normal case of the thing we just abused. Why would we like redirect in this way, like the server making
a real case of redirection. No, a real case of the server going to a web page.
Yes, on behalf of the user.
For sure. So I can tell you, every time in any web page from Facebook down that you can load an image for your avatar or face, Slack, Discord, Facebook, Instagram, that you are forcing the web server to go and fetch that image maybe from some place. Some sites, I'll ask you to upload the image. Some sites allow you to get the image from the internet. Many cases like this, downloading documents, like anything that you can make the website go to the internet to get something, then you have the opportunity to try this. It's like, oh, you're going to this website outside to get my image? Let's try to see if you can go inside your company to get the image, right? So there are many things around, okay? Okay, so let's jump into the last vulnerability we are going to be seeing in the web, and then there is another one, for example, for you. And the one we are going to be doing is insecure direct object reference. We have objects, web pages, images, products, baskets with products, I don't know, objects on the web page, and then we have a reference to this object, an ID, object number 1, object number 10. And then we have a direct reference, like you put the ID in some part of the URL. If you are doing this insecurely, then we have a vulnerability. So, in any part of the web page, if you find an ID, usually numeric ID, that you can use to reference an object, you can try to change it to see if you can attack the application, okay? Then you will be able to manipulate the input and access resources of the web page that you should not. Okay? So let's see how this works. So we will use the UseShop to demonstrate the vulnerability where the application is accepting the unauthorized user inputs and allow us to access data we shouldn't be able to access. In the previous steps, we identified multiple user inputs, right? Many of these ones. So when you're looking for an either target, you should be looking for actions that contain an ID, like a user ID, product ID, again, basket ID, invoices, whatever. And then we will check if they are properly sanitized. In our case, let's see if you can find the user's review, okay? User's review. You have also complaints that are using this one, so let's try to find this one. Reviews, I'm gonna go to Burp, proxy, filter, reviews, and then I have many reviews I sent. In all of these reviews, you will see a 1. That is an ID of a review, which is an object. And that is a direct reference to the object. So you can try to see if actually these ones you can change. So I will start by sending this to the repeater. In the repeater, I will send it again. I actually have the reviews in here. And then I will try. What if I change and I put 2? Enter. Oh, I have others. What if I put 3? What if I put 4? What if I put -1? It's still working, but there is nothing. What if I put 0? What if I put A? Okay, you try until finding the boundaries of the application. So, feedback and many others. So, if you try this one, what's going on is that we are going to be getting the products in the review. So, we just did res product ID reviews, okay? Let's try from your Dockers directly the URL, curl, juice shop, res product 3, and then we are going to be using pipe JQ, which is a JSON sanitizer, to find the reviews. So you're using curl, the same I did in Burp. Now we have reviews for number 3, okay? If you are doing the creation of a user review, the application is going to accept a put request with the following JSON. So usually when you are doing the request, you are sending message, author, email. So if, for example, in my Burp, if I go to my proxy, you will see that I do a put. And then in the put, in the bottom, I'm sending the message and the author. Okay? This is when I'm putting a review. So, if I am sending this with a message and my review and the author, what's stopping me of changing the author of the review? Well, I hope the cookie is, but we need to test. So, let's try to actually put it as pepito.com, right? So, right now, we are logged as the admin. So, we can even perform this action as the admin because we are logged as the admin. So, if you do this, curl, product reviews, and then you do the put, and then in the data you put your message, like bad product, and then any author you want. In this case, the author will have the cookie, that is Pepito, sorry, this is not even the cookie, it's like Pepito juice. If you do that request, you can copy it, you go to your Docker, that is give you status success, see? So we were able to take the request of a review, but fake who is putting the review. If you can do that, and you can test to see again the reviews, so if you ask for the review again, you will see that there is a new review. Well, you cannot read here, but there is a new review for product 3. Let me see if I can show you that one. Yeah, it's like not showing you. In this case, I will confirm that you are here. Did you see that one? Yes? So you send it. When you ask for it, the review was not here, right? The review was not here. And that means that the moment you try to send it, somehow something happened, some validation happened, because my review is not here. So how can we make it happen? And to make it happen, we need to force the publication as another user. And the one we are going to be attacking is a similar one that is going to be the feedback. So the API feedback is an endpoint that receives feedback also for the products. So let's try this one. First, we start by asking the feedbacks, that is API feedbacks, pipe JQ. So here you have feedbacks. Please try. Very similar API, you have feedbacks. As you see, I'm not even logging here. This is a curl. I don't have cookies, I have nothing. This is like anyone on the internet, right? Now, in the feedbacks, you, very similarly as before, if you find where the feedbacks are, let me go to curl, to burp, and search in the history my feedbacks. If you want to see the feedbacks, very similar, you will see that there is some information that we are sending for the feedback, okay? I search feedback. In Burp, I found a feedback post with information. So please be sure you see this one. I have a comment, a rating, and everything, okay? User ID. You have the CAPTCHA ID. Do you remember the CAPTCHA you solved for me? The CAPTCHA number, we have everything. So now I want to post as another user. So what do we need to post as another user? Well, I need the user ID. I need a CAPTCHA ID. I need the solution of the CAPTCHA, and the comment, and the rating. The user ID, I know. One is admin. So I can try to post as the admin. The problem is, how do I know the answer to the CAPTCHA? Because I'm not a human doing it, right? It's the curl doing it automatically. Well, in this case, there is a vulnerability that if you ask for the CAPTCHA directly, curl the CAPTCHA directly, you will see the CAPTCHA ID and what the CAPTCHA should be, and weirdly, the solution. So this is maybe too much because it's a juice shop challenge, but in here, it's telling you the solution. The problem is not so much the solution because you can see the solution with your eyes, like you can compute. The problem is that every CAPTCHA ID is having the same CAPTCHA. So this CAPTCHA is the CAPTCHA ID 26. So now we have a CAPTCHA ID. Please find yours, 26. I have the answer, that is 3. Now we are ready to send our mock request. So the mock request is going to be curl, it's going to be post, content JSON, and the user is going to be, for example, 2, and then you need to change the CAPTCHA ID and the CAPTCHA answer. Sorry, the CAPTCHA answer and the CAPTCHA ID. Okay? So let's try this one. I have the curl, user ID, CAPTCHA ID is going to be 26 for me. Oh. The CAPTCHA is going to be 3. The answer, I'm not sure. I will put 3 again because I don't remember now the difference. And my comment, I think this is too insecure. And the answer is success. Do you see that? Please try. This should work for you. And that's it. If you see the feedbacks now, we have a feedback injected with our face feedback from user ID 2. Was it clear? Insecure direct object reference, we can directly go to objects and we can interact even if it's not our objects. And in this case, together with the security of the CAPTCHA, we can post things as another user. Okay? Questions? So there are more things I will leave extra for you, like getting the content of another user shopping baskets, another. We are not going to go there. And I will give you some minutes, seconds for questions, and we are going to go to the last topic of the class. Internet, questions, insecure direct object reference, cookies, post, curl. The previous one, yes.
Okay, so my rephrasing, it was that how can we modify a web request so that the browser always receives your own response instead of the server's response? So normally, the web page makes a request, and the server responds to it. So let's say if we capture the server response, we modify it. So next time when the web page requests, wait. So next time when the web page makes the request, it gets a modified response directly instead of the server one, more like an auto-local responder.
I'm not sure if I follow. The web server is not making requests unless you are doing a server-side request forgery, right?
So I understand that we intercept, we modify the request, and we want always to be answering that modified request. When we load with the browser...
So if you are the proxy, you are not the user anymore. If you're the proxy, and you're saying intercept, it's because you are between the user and the website. If you're intercepting that, and you want to modify the request from the client every time in the same way, if you mean that, yes, Burp has many scriptings and many ways in the intercept to automatically do the modifications. For example, you can ask Burp to actually modify the cookie all the time with your other cookie. So then you use the website directly, right? And they say, Burp, change my cookie for the other user, and it's going to do all of those. If that is what you mean, yes, that can be done in Burp, no problem. Any other questions? Web attack? Was it okay? Was it weird? Was it easy? Was it hard? The problem here, as you saw, is not so much the final characters that you type. It's not about the complexity of which characters to put. The characters you put, sometimes it's like just a URL. The problem is that you need to find where to search for this, where are the inputs, and then you need to imagine which can go wrong from the server side. How the server is using this. Is it using my input for building a web page? Oh, then you can have cross-site scripting, like you see with Lukasz. Is it using this to do a query to a database? Oh, maybe I can try SQL injection. Is it using this to go to another website? Oh, then we have like some open request. If the open request is actually accepting internal IPs, maybe we have server-side request forgery, right? Are you accessing IDs directly? Well, maybe I can try the EDORS vulnerability, right? So the problem is looking at everything and understanding what can go wrong in where, how every piece of information is being used, okay? Okay, let's try the last thing, and then we go to the end of the class. We are going to be doing part of the AI way and how AI can be used for this. We have been using AI during the class many times, but this is, let's try to see if AI can help us do web analysis. And honestly, like in 2024 and 2025, we saw so many advances. Like since LLMs in 2023, many companies and researchers started to do agentic AI attackers on the web. And here you have some examples of companies that are selling the services. And I never tried any of these ones, but for what I can see online, they are pretty good at this. It's a huge new research area. And honestly, we don't know how this is going to go. Like, it's completely unknown. We are trying things, and they're amazing, and then we have new opportunities, and new agentics, plus machine learning, plus reinforcement learning, plus things, and we are trying to explore all the opportunities. Also, luckily, we have many free software that you can try that actually does some types of attack for you. Example, like Arachne, we did already, or our very small BSI Clippy. However, there are others online that are more complex, and now we are going to be trying one. I'm just putting here the first one, that was 2023, Pentest GPT was in 2023. This is the new one. Then we have Rogue. Then we have like this one, Shannon. Then we have DursGo, that also is very good. Sometimes they work better, sometimes not so much, a lot of limitations. The one we are going to be using is Koi Kai. And Kai is a very complex framework with many agents and technology that is taking all these agents and different LLMs and orchestrating an attack in any way you want, including web attacks. It's not specializing in web attacks, so it's not so good as other agents that are only doing web attacks, but it's pretty good, okay? So let's use it. You have already installed SCL, you have it installed in your class, you have it installed in the Dockers. This is only if you want to install later. So from your class container or your Docker container, I make here, I forgot, but from your home folder, you need to activate the Python environment of Kai, okay? So if you're in your home folder, you just activate the Python environment for Kai. Kai is installed with pip install, right? It's very easy. Then you need to create an M file, and in this M file, you will need to use or your OpenAI API key or your SesNet API key. So the same as we did many classes before. So take your SesNet API key if you are a CTU student, your OpenAI key if not. If you are using the Olama inside SCL, you also need to change this API base to their local Olama. Or if you have an Olama in your network, you can use your local Olama there. Okay? So I will give you some seconds for that. Only remember that the OpenAI GPT OSS 120B is for SesNet. If you are using the traditional OpenAI, you can use GPT-4o, for example. Okay? I will give you some seconds for this. I'm not showing mine because I don't want you to see my OpenAI key. Ready, internet? Everyone ready? Internet is ready? Of course, you can use like Gemini, Anthropic, whatever API you have. As long as they are using the format of OpenAI API, then it's going to be the same. So the way you start Kai is by typing Kai, enter. If everything goes well, you will have a small terminal interface. Oh, this is so big. So let me, maybe I can change again my session to white. Let me try. Is it better? Maybe. No? Better black? Yeah? Okay, we can go back to black. Oh. So in Kai, when you get in, you have, that is tough one. It's so big. So you have how to manage the agents, how to manage the memory, how to manage the environment, how to manage the tools, a lot of things. This is a big framework, okay? So we are not going to be using everything. I just want to use AI for testing the web application. So what we are going to be doing is that Kai works just by you typing, people. So you can go and you can ask whatever you want, press enter, and the agents are going to start working. That's all it needs. And then you need to give instructions on top of that. For example, you can say, find all computers in the local network, install any program you need. So if you do that, and you press enter, it's going to go to the LLM, it's going to ask, and look, it's trying to install their Nmap, but Nmap was already installed. See? It's like giving you the output, and you can see here exactly the command it's trying to install. And now it's doing something that I don't know. Let's see if it ends. I will do the same also in SEL, so you can see it. So I need to connect to my class 13 first. And now I need to start the Kai environment. Then I need to start Kai. There you go. And now I'm going to copy the same command in my SEL. Oh, I don't have here my API key. It's fine. For some reason, it's not ending my Nmap. Did yours finish? Also no? No. So I will try again. I will press Control C, and I will do /flash. Sometimes Kai gets in loopholes, so you can flash it, and I will try again. But I will say, find all the computers in the local network without installing. So let's see, again, find all computers in the local network. Oh, there you go. So now it's using Nmap and found all my computers in the local network. And now remembers the computers, right? It's there. So you can try another things like scan the ports in Juice Shop computer. Let's try this one. Scan the ports of Juice Shop computer. It's thinking, asking. Oh, actually, I even have here the IPs. Look at that. Beautiful list of IPs, all your IPs, Juice Shop, and everything. Oh, look, and I found all the ports. So I was scanning the ports and found the ports of all the computers. And then, even, look, without asking, actually went to the web page. See? I didn't ask for this, but went to the web page and download the web page. And even, look at this, was trying to find a flag automatically in the content because it's kind of fine-tuned for CTFs, which is not great, but it's there. So you can also see, hey, find a SQL injection vulnerability, use curl. So if you do find a SQL injection vulnerability, it's going to understand that you're talking about this web page, and it's going to try to go to the web page. It's going to try to analyze different things. Depending on the agent you're using, it's going to try to download more things. It's going to try to download those things. Oh, look at that one. It's like, hey, if you do cur post, content, email, admin, password, anything, login, for some reason believe that that's a good thing, whatever that is. I think that doesn't work. So I would say that was a failure. But now, what we can do actually is that we can select agents, and this is the interesting part. So Kai has many different agents that you can actually see by doing /agent list. So Kai has agents for Wi-Fi testing, bug bounty, red team managers, use case. It has like, reverse engineering, many agents. So what happens is that Kai orchestrates these agents with a manager, and the manager takes each agent and gives different tasks. So we are going to try this one, which is much more interesting. So for that, you need to do /parallel. Look at this. If you do /parallel add and any number, it's going to tell you all the agents you can pick from. So we are going to be doing add the bug bounter agent. Now add the one tool agent. Now add the injection detection agent. Now add the network security analyzer agent. I will put many of those. The red team agent. Yeah, make it happen. Reporting agent. We have an agent that is going to do the reports for us. The web pen tester agent. We have specialization in web. That's good. The red team swarm pattern. This is the manager. So we want to have a manager there. There you go. And now I'm going to ask, hey, check the web port 3000 of juice shop computer, find a SQL injection, I can try. So I'm going to do the same as before, but with all the agents working together. So now it's going to try to, ooh, look at that. That was a lot of stuff very fast. So I can go up and show you what it's doing. But it's doing, first, finding the computer, confirming the IP, then is already trying some like SQL injection in the product search. That was good. Then is checking that doesn't contain the infection. See, the injection detection is trying to see that there is no injection, so continues. Then a curl with something more. Then is doing, what is this? The confirmation of the IP. Then getting the main page, no commands, talking to the red team agent, is pinging the computer to see if it's working, getting the IP, getting again the curl of the web page. It's trying different things, right? So this is like, I'm gonna let it work, and I will let you work a little bit to see if you can find some similar result like this, right? Ask whatever you want, cross-site scripting, attacking, login, see how the AI works with this one. And now stops, and it's telling you, hey, actually, there are things that you can try here. So I have some curl commands that maybe I can try. Look at this one. Curl, some HTTP code, I don't know what is that one. I have another one here. This is search for Apple. What is this? Search for Q. Can I try this one? Okay, I will try one of these ones just to see. This is not working. Oh, what is this? Cool. Oh, no, I make a mistake. Cool. Yeah, no, but it was not that one. No. Oh, here. Wait. Oh. I need to, it was 2 lines, and I need to do one. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. So null something, but this is not working. Oh, because I think it's not putting the double quotes. Yeah, so if I complete the double quotes, it's finding the 000. I don't know what it is. So the problem, as you see, is that many of the things maybe are not easy to understand. Many of the things you don't know what it found. So what I'm going to do next, once you have this, is I say, hey, make a TXT report summary of what you did and be brief. So I want to ask the reporter to actually tell me what happened here, because there are too many things, right? So now, we have some guardrail. So we have now a report. I'm going to scroll up. And the agent that is the bug bouncer is telling me, hey, we have network discovery, port scan, service check, endpoint enumeration, and some proving of the SQL injection in products. So that was the product. Actually, maybe I can try this one. Oh, no, OK. I need to do it one by one. And then the details of the vulnerability. REST products name payload. The payload tested was like single quotes or some 1 = 1. An attacker can retrieve arbitrary data, so it seems that it worked. And move, prepare stating, have to recommendations. Sometimes you have the guardrail hit. That means that you're asking the LLM to do something that is too dangerous and refuses to work, but sometimes it continues. And then we have the CTF agents also reporting for us. And then we have the red team manager reporting what everyone was doing. Look at this. This is a very nice report. And then we have the actual network security analyzer doing all the commands they did, and that's it. So you can do many, many things, people. You can say, for example, I like also this one. There are many reports in here. I like to ask, make a report, but do a web page. I don't want to read. I want an HTML report. So you can ask for an HTML report, and it's going to create it for you. So the point here is that now, in this AI LLM works, you have all these tools available. In the case of Kai, as you see, the agents are separating the tasks, are orchestrating together, and they can work in how they're attacking. There are so many things we are not doing here. For example, we are not doing the use of tools. You can say, Kai, go and use this tool, Metasploit. Use this tool, SQL map, use this tool. And then it's going to use these tools that are much more powerful in the website, right? So here, yeah, it's creating some web page. I wanted to show you the report, so I have it pre-open. If you don't have a report for you, you can download it from here. Yes?
Sorry, does the Kai application have like unlimited access to the commands? How can I be sure it just doesn't, I don't know, delete the disk C or whatever?
Yes, it's a good question. So Kai, remember that these are LLMs, so these are not deterministic, okay? Sometimes it's doing the commands perfectly, that you want. You can also say, do not do the commands. I will manually accept. Literally, you write this, press enter, and then it's asking you, do you want to run this command? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. However, when it's doing the commands automatically, it can happen that it's doing things that are very bad. That's why the guardrails are there. So there's a module in Kai that has guardrails that is checking every command going out that is not destructive. So if the LLM says, delete drop database, the guardrails are saying, no, that you are not doing that one, right? So are they good? I hope. I mean, they work here, but can you jump them? Maybe, right? If this is your computer, be careful, right? Also, exactly as Arachne can work in SSH, can work in shells. You can do whatever you want in here, okay? So for example, this is the report that is creating for me. So it was doing a HTML with each of the IPs found, and then each of the ports, each of the commands, each of the check. Look at this, the authentication, the authorization, and even found the admin JWT vulnerability that we didn't tell that, and it found it, right? And then you have planned actions and others, okay? So let's stop here. There are many more things we can do with AI. I leave it to there. Go play. You can ask Kai to do things. I even like that if you pay attention, it's telling you how much money are you expending. So it's very nice. So you can see, in this case, it's SESNet, so no money. But if you have OpenAI, you can see how much you are expending, okay? Questions? AI web, testing, LLM model, agents. Who here is building their own agentic applications? There, we have somebody. Nobody else is working in like at home, having fun, agentic apps, flows. I encourage you to go to this very promising area. I'm not sure what are you going to be doing later, but working in agentic architectures is paying extremely well in the performances. Many companies are going there. Many new things are appearing every day. Platforms, testing, simulations, frameworks. Like crazy things are happening. Yeah, go.
Well, since the Kai application is like noting the model it uses, it seems to be evident that the only modification from agent to agent is really the prompt, right? Or the tools.
Sorry. I'm not sure if I understand again.
It doesn't seem to be like that what changes from agent to agent is something more like changing the entire LLM model. It rather only changes the prompt, right?
If the model changes?
No. This whole thing seems to be like some kind of, I don't know, magical box, and the like having different agents and something.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, what really differentiates or like changes between those agents is not the LLM model. It's only the prompt, right?
Oh, the prompt. Yeah, actually can be both. Here you can use one model per agent, but here all of them use the same model, but it's not about the model, right? This is the magic of agents. This is not about OpenAI, Gemini. This is not about the model. It's about the prompt. Like, is OpenAI or Gemini or whatever other things better than others? No, yes, depends on the problem. Sometimes Gemini is amazing at thinking about images, and I don't know, OpenAI is better at long-term planning. Like, it very much depends on your prompt. Like in the experiments we are doing with honeypots attackers, like you change the prompt a little bit, and the performance goes from 40% to 60. So it's like, what you're asking literally defines your agent. You can say, now you are a surgeon, and that's enough. The whole personality goes into surgeon and is perfectly talking about medicine. That's why this, if you see the prompts, they're open prompts. You can see, now you're a weapon tester, and it's finding SQL injection vulnerabilities, 10. And then you say, no, you're a network security tester and cannot find web vulnerabilities. It's like very much focusing in what you want, and that's giving you the personalities. It's crazy, people. It's crazy. It's like magic. It's like the English that you're writing literally changes what your programming is doing. Yes, we need to close for the studio assignments. So, ready.
Okay. Great, so the assignment for tonight, last assignment of the
class.
No! But yeah, it's 3 parts, 6 points. Yeah, deadline again, January 7th, as for these assignments. 3 parts, basically everything's related to what we've done today. You will see we have 1 REST API, 1 database, and 1 server that provides pictures of cats. So there are 3 different exploits, like for each one of these, and like the instructions will tell you more. It opens tonight at 9 p.m. and that's it. Questions?
No? Yes. Huh? Sorry?
Yes, it's a combination of last class and this class.
Yes, a combination of both, yes. And then, very important for you people, bonus assignment, okay? Let's do a couple of minutes about this. Start of the bonus, tomorrow, 9.
Yes, just, can I say, all the unlock reports have been reviewed and we texted you, so please, if we missed someone, tell us, like, now.
Yes. Thank you very much. Unlocks are unlocked. End of the bonus, January the 7th, so you have your holiday. Forget about eggnog, svarshak. Who wants that? No. You sit down, you hack, lower the lights, go into the basement, and you play security. People, the bonus reports are going to be final. Whatever you send, that's it. You cannot modify. That's why we did the unlock reports before. So take seriously our comments on your unlock reports. Actually, a lot of the unlock reports were not that great. We give you feedback and you fix it. Some of them were borderline. So if in the bonus your report is not up to the standards we told you, there is no modifications, okay? All the modifications were for the unlock. No exceptions. So pay attention professionally and do a nice report. The maximum amount of points for the bonus, right? You have the bonus. Remember, it's like an exam. The maximum amount of points is going to be 100. You need 70 to pass. 70 to pass, okay? The extra 10 points from the assignments, if you have them, remember you can take some points of the assignments to the bonus, are going to be added after the 70. So if you do 70, perfect, now you're 80. If you do 60, you don't sum up the 10. Okay? Rules. The same CTFD server as now. Nothing changes there. You need to use the same CTFD server as now. It's going to be there, you log in, it's going to open there. There are going to be 8 stages. Solving a stage, open the next one. So you're going to see one stage, once you solve it, next. Each stage is giving you points. The assignment is individually solved. Okay? Individually solve.
I can add that we can tell when is not individually solved.
We already did. The challenges for the bonus assignment are clearly marked bonus in CTFD. So you go to CTFD, it says bonus, okay? The bonus assignment evaluation is semi-automatic. So CTFD is going to tell you the answer is correct, but then we will check your report. And if your report does not sustain your answer, we can cancel it, okay? We don't care so much if the flag is there. If we don't see that you did the work for the flag, it's not going to be counted.
Also, if you didn't find the flag, but you still document the process, you might still get points because the flag is to give you feedback. And of course, if you have it, just put it. But if you don't find the flag, it's still valid that you document everything you do so we can see what you tried.
Just in case, as we said before, document all your steps in the Google Doc. Record the steps, command, screenshots. Screenshots are critically important. Outputs, including fail attempts. We want to see your thinking process. Help us understand how much you know. If you go there and say, I put this, I got the flag, doesn't count. You're not getting the points. You need to show us. What did you see? What did you do? Why this command? Why the other? Did you have imagination? Did you ask ChatGPT? Did you search in Google? Whatever, okay? Yes, that one. So the document, as before, should be named 2025 BSY bonus assignment. Your name, please put your name. You may not believe me, but there is more than one people called Jan, so please put your surname in your document. Once you submit the report, you will no longer be able to edit it, so that's it. Yes, we download the document, so even if you edit it later, we don't care. We are downloading the moment the bonus closes. You can share the document with the teachers as soon as you make it. Please don't wait until one day before to share the document with us, because we cannot give you feedback, okay? If you want feedback, if you want to see what's going on, create the document, share it with us, and then keep working there. So more time for us, okay? Documents that are not submitted to the CTFD, at the end you have to submit it, and not share with us, not submitted to the D and share with the editor. Oh. You need to share the document with us as editors. I don't know what is this one.
No, but if you submit the Google document in CTFD, but you didn't share it, or you didn't share it with all the teachers, then it will not count. Like, we cannot, each of us, go and request permission and wait for you to give us access to the document. So make sure that before you submit it to CTFD, you share with all of us, and then submit in CTFD.
Okay, maybe we can change this one. Yes, and those are winning emails for you to share, okay? Okay, questions? This is the moment, people. Bonus is opening. Yes. Oh, yes, thank you very much. Instructions.
Yeah, in the meantime, I can say something else, that a lot of you in the unlock bonus report.
At the top?
In the unlock bonus reports, instead of putting a screenshot, some of you were like copy-pasting the ASCII of the command line into the Google document. And it's like, it's fair, but we like screenshots more, because the screenshot is like, yes, this happened, it's there. The text can be edited, right? So it couldn't...
Thank you.
It's better if you can take a screenshot.
And if you go to our webpage, CTFD BSY the CTFD/bonus, you will see the main page with the CTU bonus assignment, start, deadline, max points, passing points, and all the information. Okay?
In the bottom of the page, there is a couple of questions we get a lot. So please, if something is unclear, look here. If not, you can also, if it's not answered there, you can always ask in Matrix or send us an email. We'll try to answer as soon as possible, even over the holidays.
If you didn't unlock the bonus report, you can still play the bonus, but it will not count. But it might be a good practice for the exam, right?
And remember that you can use AI. Just please tell us how you use AI. It's fine, it's okay. Also, this is something that is happening in the industry a lot. They need to explain how to use AI, so please do. A lot of you already did in the unlocking report. Yeah.
I had a question. So if we add you like to the document, so you can edit it before we submit it, then does that mean that you will look at it like while we're writing it and possibly leave feedback?
Possibly, yes.
Yeah.
Not guarantee, but I mean, it's much easier. And maybe it's like nothing, but maybe, I don't know, you're stuck for 4 days. Maybe you say, hey, look at this. Other questions? Bonus? Think about it.
Correction, if you did not unlock the bonus report, you will not see the bonus assignments on CTFD, so you cannot play.
Yes.
Yes, sorry about that. Yeah.
Yes. If you did not unlock the bonus, you can code the exam, and that's no problem. That's it? Ready? Okay. Question.
Are there any instructions for the exam on the website or something? I didn't look yet. I just asked him.
I don't think we do have instruction for the exam in the website.
There are no instructions for the exam, but it will be very similar to the bonus. Of course, a bit shorter, and you will have way less time, like 2 hours instead of 3 weeks.
I will add a little bit on that. We will discuss the format and the structure of the exam at the very last class in January. Generally, it will be a mixture of the practical assignments throughout the semester. Only restriction is that it's time constrained. Otherwise, you can have any material, search online, use whatever you want, as long as you do it here and you manage to fit in the time frame, which is 2 hours. But yeah, we will explain it in detail in the last class in January, including the scores and the grading and everything.
And for the points, are exactly the same as in the exams, the bonus, only that you need 70 to approve. So the bonus is only from B up. That's why it's a bonus. Yeah. So.
I'm a little bit confused about the grading for the assignment. So
This is not assignment, right? This is exam and bonus.
yes. So if you do, let's say, all the assignments, then you'll get 10 points.
If you do all the assignments, then 10 points you can take to the bonus or the exam if you approve. So for example, in the case of the exam, this is exam.
Okay.
If you pass the 50 points, whatever you do, we add up the 10 you got in the assignments. If you do the bonus, more than 70, to those, we do 10 more. So if you have 75 in the bonus, you end up with 85.
But this is the same as the bonus assignment, or this is different?
Only that you approve after 70,
Okay.
right? This 50, 60, 70, you're right, thank you. So it's CBA, yeah. Here is the bonus.
Any other question? Don't count on feedback on the bonus. Please share it beforehand as you are working because it's good, but it's not obligatory for us to go and give you feedback while you are working on that. If it happens, good for you, but it's not going to, don't expect it to happen, okay? And while you are thinking for more questions for the online students, we are sending emails with the passcode status of all the passcodes you submitted up to now. So you will receive an email saying, hey, you submitted 5 correct passcodes, these are the lessons, and then you can see which ones you are missing, you can resubmit, and then you can catch up as well. Yeah?
People, have a beautiful Christmas and New Year. Thank you very much. And see you next year in the snow. 2026! Woo! See ya, people. See ya. Bye-bye.